Remember when summer seemed to last forever? When waiting for your birthday felt impossible? When Christmas took ages to arrive and a single school year felt like an entire lifetime? Now, you blink, and somehow it's already Christmas again. Another birthday, another year. It feels like time itself is speeding up. But here's the strange part. Scientists don't think time is changing at all. They think your brain is, start with the simplest explanation, the math one. More than a century ago, a French philosopher named Paul Janet noticed something. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is a huge slice of your life, about 20% of everything you've ever lived. To a 5-year-old, a year is practically a geological era. Now imagine you're 50. 1 year is only about 2% of your life. Compared to everything you've already been through, it barely registers. It's the time between dentist appointments. The psychologist William James picked up this same idea in his 1890 masterwork, The Principles of Psychology. He argued that as you age, each year feels shorter because it's a smaller fraction of the whole. It's a tidy theory, but it isn't the whole story, because the biggest reason may have nothing to do with math. Think back to your very first day of school. You probably remember details: the classroom, the smell, where you sat, maybe even what you were wearing. Now think about driving to work last Tuesday. Can you remember every turn, every traffic light? Probably not, because your brain doesn't record everything equally. It pays attention to what's new. Your brain is constantly asking one quiet question. Have I seen this before? If the answer is no, it starts recording carefully. Every detail matters. But if the answer is yes, it relaxes. You've driven this road before. You've made this coffee before. You've sat in this exact meeting before. Possibly this exact daydream. There's nothing new to learn. So your brain stores fewer details. Psychologists call the missing ingredient novelty. New experiences demand attention. Routine experiences don't. And here's the strange consequence. When your brain stores fewer memories of a stretch of time, that stretch feels shorter when you look back on it. Imagine reading 2 books. One is full of adventure. Every page brings something new. The other repeats the same chapter over and over. Which one feels longer? Usually, the adventurous one. Not because it took more hours to read, but because more happened. Your memories work much the same way. This is why childhood feels so impossibly rich. Everything is new. Your first bicycle, your first pet, your first sleepover, your first heartbreak. Your brain is recording constantly. Life feels full. As an adult, many of your days begin to look alike. Wake up, commute, answer email, make dinner, watch something, sleep, repeat. Your brain starts compressing those days, not because they didn't matter, because they were familiar. The neuroscientist David Eagleman puts it in a way that turns the whole idea inside out. Your brain, he argues, doesn't measure time by the clock. It measures time by how much it remembers, by how much information it lays down. A rich, novel stretch of life leaves a thick stack of memories. Looking back, it feels long. An ordinary, repeated stretch leaves almost nothing. Looking back, it nearly disappears. You've felt this yourself on vacation. The writer Claudia Hammond gave it a name: the holiday paradox. Go somewhere new, and the week feels packed and full while you're living it. Then, months later, that same week feels enormous in memory. New places, new faces, new food, page after page after page. Compare that to an ordinary week at home, which contained very few things worth remembering. In the moment, both weeks lasted 7 days. In memory, one of them barely existed. And this isn't only a feeling, it shows up when you measure it. A psychologist named Peter Mangan ran a beautifully simple test. He asked people to close their eyes and tell him when they thought 3 minutes had passed. Young adults were almost perfect. They stopped at around 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Older adults kept going to nearly 3 minutes and 40 seconds. To them, more time had slipped by than they realized. The clock was moving faster than their sense of it, and modern life may be pouring fuel on the fire. Think about how often your attention jumps. A notification, a text, an email, a scroll. Your brain barely finishes one moment before the next one arrives. Instead of deeply living an experience, you're skimming it, like flipping through a book without reading a single page. And when you skim, the story always feels shorter. So, can you actually slow time down? Not the clock, your experience of it. The science says, maybe. Travel somewhere you've never been. Learn a language. Take a different route home. Try a hobby you're almost certainly going to be bad at. Meet new people. Break the routine. Every new experience hands your brain something worth recording. And the more your brain records, the longer and fuller that stretch of life becomes when you look back on it. There's an old saying, the days are long, but the years are short. The science suggests there's real truth hiding in those words. An individual day can crawl, especially when you're waiting for something. But years aren't measured in minutes. They're measured in memories. And memories grow strongest when life surprises you. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I can't believe it's already December, remember this: time isn't racing ahead. Your brain is simply getting more efficient. It stops recording the ordinary so it can save room for the extraordinary, which means if you want life to feel longer, don't count your days. Fill them with moments worth remembering. Because in the end, the richest life isn't measured by how much time you were given, but by how much of it your brain decided was worth keeping. Thanks for watching Brainstorm Bob. If this made you think, hit subscribe for more curiosity, ideas, and real answers. See you in the next one.